Former Republican South Carolina Representative Trey Gowdy criticized House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for keeping Democratic California Representative Eric Swalwell on the House Intelligence Committee. Gowdy made an appearance Friday with Fox News host Harris Faulkner to discuss the recent revelation that a Chinese spy had gotten close to Swalwell as he worked his way from city council to Congress, so close that Swalwell has claimed that the details of their relationship are classified. Faulkner began the segment with a clip of House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who has questioned whether Swalwell should be allowed to remain on the Intelligence Committee after being linked to an alleged Chinese spy. Faulkner said, "Congressman Swalwell has yet to explain what his relationship was with the suspected spy. This feels like, Trey, this just got a little bit more heated, more important to pay attention to. It's the hardest committee in all of Congress to get on," Gowdy replied, noting that members of Congress and even the Intelligence Committee are not required to go through background checks and they are frequently privy to classified information. This, he explained, was why the Speaker and the Minority Leader were so careful to choose the right people. Gowdy asked, "Kevin is 100% right. There are 230 members of the House. You can't find one that wasn't dating a Chinese spy. Out of all 230, you can't find a single member on the Democrat side that wasn't involved in a relationship, which he won't even tell us what it was, Harris. He won't say whether he was sleeping with her or not. He says it's classified. How is that classified, Eric? I mean, you want people to not find out about it, but it's not classified." Gowdy went on to claim that Swalwell sat on that committee because he was a loyal acolyte to Pelosi and Democratic California Representative Adam Schiff. Gowdy continued, "This is the only reason he is on it. Having to work with him, he is eminently replaceable. I can promise you that." Faulkner then asked Gowdy what he would like to hear Swalwell say with regard to the situation. Gowdy replied, going on to note that Swalwell had been front and center when it came to accusing the president and members of his family of similar transgressions. "Eric, how did this happen for 4 years? Eric, with all candor, when a woman is expressing interest in you, chances are great that she is paid to do so. You have to have the self-awareness to ask, why do I have this new face in my life? Why is this person trying to put an intern in my office, and why are they trying to help me get elected to Congress?" Gowdy concluded, "You couldn't turn on the TV without seeing Swalwell in the Russia investigation. Where is he now? He's criticizing Jared and Donald Trump for meeting with a Russian lawyer. They weren't dating one. They were meeting with one. So, just answer some questions." Congressional leaders finalized a nearly $900 billion relief bill Sunday night, breaking 8 months of gridlock to deliver another round of stimulus checks, unemployment benefits and assistance to small businesses, as well as cash to help get new vaccines into waiting arms. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who hashed out the final deal with the other top party leaders, said, "At long last, we have the bipartisan breakthrough the country has needed. Both chambers are hoping to vote on the package Monday, and leaders are optimistic that they can deliver strong majorities in the House and Senate. The bill is expected to be coupled with a full-year 2021 spending bill as well. But with funding running out Sunday night, Congress was rushing to approve a one-day extension of money to prevent a Christmastime shutdown. Leaders said the relief bill includes $600 stimulus checks, a $300 a week federal unemployment boost on top of what states already pay, and $284 billion for another round of the Paycheck Protection Program, which helps small businesses keep workers on payrolls. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, California Democrat, and Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer, New York Democrat, also said there is $25 billion in rental assistance, an extension of the eviction moratorium, $13 billion for food programs, and a $7 billion broadband fund. The deal lacks the liability protections for reopening businesses that Republicans wanted and lacks the massive direct aid to states and localities that Democrats sought. But there is $82 billion for education, $27 billion for testing and health care programs, and more than $30 billion for vaccine distribution, which will help states with those specific costs, Democrats said. Mr. Schumer, New York Democrat, said the final agreement was far from perfect, but will at least help a nation in the throes of a genuine emergency. Negotiators had been aiming to finish by last Friday, but a late stalemate over lending authority granted to the Federal Reserve in a relief package in March became a major sticking point. Senate Republicans insisted that authority be curbed. They feared it would become a slush fund for the new administration to distribute money to states and localities. Democrats said Republicans were trying to hamstring the Biden team's ability to deal with a sluggish economy. Mr. McConnell said a deal could have been had months ago, save for Mrs. Pelosi's insistence on such a high price tag. He said, as far back as July, and all autumn, Republicans have consistently supported a targeted package right in the ballpark of this total amount, with the same kinds of policies in the mix. He said Democrats refused to deal earlier because they didn't want to deliver a win to President Trump. Mrs. Pelosi said Sunday that while she is backing this package, Democrats will be back to ask for more once President-elect Joseph R. Biden is sworn into office. She and Mr. Schumer said in a joint statement, "State and local governments will certainly need additional funding to prevent the senseless layoffs of heroic essential workers and critical service cuts." The $900 billion relief package will be tied to a $1.4 trillion spending bill to fund government agencies for 2021. If leaders stick to their schedule for Monday votes, it will mean rank-and-file lawmakers will have less than 24 hours to study hundreds of pages encompassing well more than $2 trillion in taxpayer money. Representative Justin Amash, Michigan Independent, tweeted, "When a few people decide everything in Congress, it means we have an oligarchy, not a representative democracy. When the media cast this corruption of our system as a good thing, it means there's little hope for avoiding further lurches toward one-person rule." Some liberal lawmakers were not pleased with what they heard about the details of the package. Senator Bernard Sanders, Vermont Independent said, "At the end of the day, the amount of money in total is not adequate to address the enormous economic crisis facing this country." Senator Ron Wyden said they were able to improve the bill beyond what Republicans wanted, expanding the unemployment assistance from 4 weeks to 11 weeks, but he added that, "This is not the bill I would have written." Mr. Wyden said, "Mitch McConnell is imposing unnecessary hardship on millions of Americans this winter, and he could do even worse once President-elect Biden has been inaugurated."